I don't know who lied to you, but it's cold outside. Full winter in full effect. I haven't found my nuts in 3 days and the shrinkage is real. But what I can do is bring you 10 sexy designer fragrances that are built for the fall and winter. Technically, as per the season, we're in fall, but it's really winter. And like the dead of winter, it smells like it's gonna snow. And anybody in the Northeast knows exactly what I'm talking about. So let me put you on to 10 designer, dark, and sexy fragrances built for the cold weather.
Sexy motherfucker. We're all alone. Privee, yeah, that's friends from the south side. In case you cared, out of all your friends, I want to be Cuba.
Blessed morning, my beautiful peoples. You know who it is. It's your boy. C to the U to the B to the A. You know I like to make these lists super simple. I want to be the one to for dummy this process for you. Make it simple. Be like, hey, go to the store, smell this, see if you buy it. Because these are 10 fragrances in the designer space that, I mean, I'm gonna call this the dark bottle collection. Because these are all dark bottles that are fire, except for one which is blown out gold, and that's Roberto Cavalli's Uomo Golden Anniversary Edition. I would consider this a dark bottle. Because the scent profile that comes out of here is gorgrific, fantastic, absolutely amazing, perfect for the fall and winter. Jaw-dropping, stellar, panty-dropping, ooh, she's dripping good. You catch all that? Cardamom, tonka bean, sexy, lavender, amazing fragancias. That is Liddy 7 Titties. Absolutely one of my favorite designer releases of 2022. Hands down, first impression was, wow. I love this joint and I absolutely recommend you to try a sample. If there's some way you can get a sample or if this shit is not sold out everywhere, Golden Anniversary by Roberto Cavalli is one you need this fall/winter. Next one. This fragrance has been on my lists, I wanna say bare minimum 4 years. Maybe 5 years, maybe 7 years, I don't remember. But Salvatore Ferragamo Uomo, AKA the king of tiramisu, AKA you still sleeping on this joint, AKA it's still cheap, bag it up while you can, is one of the best gourmandy Italian tiramisu and coffee fragrances you're going to get ever in life. It is absolutely drool worthy of a sexy fragrance. Incredible for the fall and winter. I shit you not. As inexpensive as this fragrance is, I just don't understand why it's not on like 5,000 people's collect. It is amazing. Get it. Next one. This next one is such a fun, playful oud designer fragrance that I had to put it on this list because it's kind of one that I keep forgetting and leave it on the back burner. But what tends to happen is I'll reach for it from time to time when it's a little bit chilly, and that's Versace Oud Noir. Homme Oud Noir is just a glorious entry-level oudy fragrance in the designer space. It's not heavily oud, to be honest with you. It's more like a synthetic woody fragrance with some peppery vibes, a little bit of a bitter orange, and some like cardamom flow. Skin, when it dries down, at least on my skin, it really becomes a really nice peppery leather fragrance with some woody base. It's a very easy to wear, again, entry-level into the oud space without breaking your wallet. Versace Oud Noir only shines when there's like a brisk day. Today's a chilly ass day, like when the street lamps are swing. It's a day that you want to put this joint on and see what kind of reactions you might potentially get if you're walking in the street, which you're stupid because it's freezing. Next one. This next fragrance is just the king of powdery beasts, Dior Homme Parfum. Dior Homme Parfum is a savage animal in the lipstick, makeup bag, powdery, sexy scent space. A difficult fragrance to obtain in the US. I mention it every time I put it in the video, but it's not impossible to get. You can find it, but you're gonna pay a little bit of a premium. That's just the way it goes. This for me is my favorite DHI because it hits all the little nuances that I'm particularly looking for. The other ones are nice, they're just fine, but I never had the desire to purchase a full bottle of the other joints until this one came along and I actually pulled the trigger on it. I'm like hoping this is one that I'm gonna keep in my stash, and guess what? I don't wanna let it go. It's that good. This might be one of the fragrances that might outlive a lot of these other fragrances in my collection because it's that sexy. Next one. Let's get down to business. Guerlain L'Homme Ideal was at one point so inexpensive that it boggled a ton of people's mind. Like, how can you not see how delicious and nutty and almondy sexy vibes this fall and winter fragrance is for pennies on the dollar? I mean, I enjoy an inexpensive fragrance that just performs outstanding, and this has to be up there with the top tier cheapy fragrances that were blowing my mind back 4 or 5 years ago. I haven't recently looked up the price point of this particular fragrance, nor do I think that it's over like $150, but it was way cheaper back then, and if you shop it around, you can still possibly find it in a more affordable price point, just maybe not as cheap as it used to be. However, you're getting a lot of bang for your buck in this scent profile. It is one of the most beautiful, nutty, almondy, buttery, sexy fragrances that you can try, and Guerlain is no slouch when it comes to the space of perfumery. So, Guerlain L'Homme Ideal is necessary for fall and winter. Next one. The next fragrance is a new release by the house of Armani, and that's Armani Stronger For You Oud. Spicy, sexy, with some complexities. It definitely, for me, smells of niche quality and performs even better off of my skin. I get about a 9-hour performance rating on my skin with this particular fragrance, which I must admit is delicious. The Stronger With You lineup comes in heavy and it slaps you because it does have a lot of mass appeal, but for me, the oud just adds that level of depth and maturity into it that you want in a designer oud. You don't want something that smells overly childish or just kind of like just not like infantile. Like I wanna smell manly, I wanna smell robust, I wanna smell powerful when I have to wear a big ass Canada Goose, triple fat goose, a fucking scarf wrapped around my head like the kid from the Christmas Story, and a big ass beanie. I need something to combat all this cold weather, and Armani Stronger With You Oud does that. Next one. Trying to compete with the Dior Homme Parfum Givenchy Gentleman Reserve Privee. The advantage that this may have over that, or not necessarily advantage, but the difference that this one has is a boozy aspect. There's like an aged barrel whiskey scent in here on top of that powdery flow that gives it this beautiful boozy element that you want with this powdery vibe. So this is definitely date night, cold weather sexy. If you dare to sit outside, you better hope there's a heat lamp and wear some sort of sunglasses, because if shorty tries to open up her jacket, you're gonna see the headlights on full. So far, Reserve Privee is my favorite Givenchy Gentleman. Next one. This is a recent acquisition in my list, and I thought it had like an abundance of fragrance notes, but it literally had 3 notes. I think I even remember them, to be honest with you. I think it was like ginger, not sandalwood, vetiver, and some weird fruit that I haven't heard of that makes me think of an old school band, La Máquina. Something in that space. And that fragrance is Hugo Boss Absolute. Super playful, very sexy. I was quite surprised when I smelled this fragrance and quite surprised when I actually wore this shit. Usually I do the first impressions without that full wear, but this one I got 1 full wear only as of now, and it was a super fun, playful fragrance. Although I did have a little bit of I'm walking through Sephora type vibe, it still was a very sexy fragrance, and honestly one that I can definitely recommend if you can find it under retail. This is a versatile fragrance, but for me it leans a little bit more colder weather. So right now, 'tis the season to be sexy. Fa la 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 next. And this one, I always felt that Gucci did a fantastic job with the Intense Oud joint. This joint is crazy. I always liked this little cap. It made it feel like a fucking grenade and just blow shit up. You might be blowing up somebody's box with this sexy oud. Very fun, very sexy. Surprisingly, a lot sexier than I anticipated. It's really a, damn, it's been a minute since I've worn this joint. Very good, very now, very oudy. And as you can see, there's a lot of oudy and designer oudy fragrances in this because the ouds here aren't so abrupt or animalic. They're just more playful and kind of entry-level ouds. Although in this one, the oud feels a little bit more higher quality, in my opinion. I'm not saying there's some natural oud in here, let's not get crazy, but what I am saying is that this is a very good quality oud, especially for its particular price point. So I think Gucci Intense Oud, if you want to get into the designer oud space and feel like you want to smell like a kicked up oudy version, not necessarily full natural, but up there, this one might be the one you want to start with. And last and certainly not least, Since we're on the oud train, Hugo Boss Bottled Oud. This one to me has a little bit of a oudy cola-ish vibe. It has a Coca-Cola spritzy kind of effervescence feel with that mass appeal entry-level oud persona. The interesting part of this fragrance, after that cola-ish type vibe dries down a little bit on that top to mid, you get a little bit of this oudy, greenery, soily kind of mark that comes off my skin that's really fun. These are all fun, playful fragrances that you don't have to take super seriously, but will get you the compliment factor that you're looking for. You don't necessarily have to be in the process that you're gonna rack your brain and really thinking like, oh shit, what am I gonna go for? These are all viable options for you to at least test out. I don't generally recommend blind buying, lead the blind buying to me. However, these joints are very, very fun, very sexy, perfect for this weather. And if you guys smell these joints and have your own list device, please leave it in the comments below. I love y'all motherfuckers from the heart, and I'll see y'all bitches next time. You know who it is, biggest in the game. If anybody knows who I'm nuts are, please let me know. Smooches.
Cubaknow, what's fresh, who's best? One of them's gonna pass the test. Cubaknow.
For the fly gun holder, money folder, motor roller, start tack when it's time to call back. For the rough, rugged, and raw way, this nigga Jay, it's a game, but he don't play. Hey, for all the chicks that got dead in the penthouse suite on top of my mom's crib. It's nonsense you never get in. It's nonsense that you would think that you would.